What's going on, guys? Decoration Dude here, and today I have a pretty special video on this Gemmy life-size Pinhead from the Hellraiser series. This is a pretty special video because this is actually the last horror character I needed to complete the Gemmy life-size horror character collection, at least the collapsible half of that. I know that, some people consider other props to be a part of that collection, like the original Crypt Keeper, maybe, the 3 different variants of the Wicked Witch of the West. But honestly, my main goal was just to collect the main horror characters that are, the collapsible ones, which after this guy, I have achieved. And that was honestly my main goal in collecting over the last couple of years, was just tracking down all these characters and trying to get them all. Now, you may have seen a Pinhead featured on my channel before, as well as featured in my display last year. That was actually Zach's Pinhead. That was not mine. We just used it for the display and stuff so that we'd have the full licensed collection on display. But I did not own a Pinhead up until like a few weeks ago, so very recently is when I completed the collection. Now, I got this guy off a post I saw in one of the Facebook collectors groups. There's a guy, he just had a whole bunch of stuff for sale, and originally this was on eBay too, and he said he wasn't gonna ship, but after talking to him for a little bit, he said he would ship if I was actually interested in buying it. So we worked out some details, and we worked out a deal on the price, and honestly, I did pay a little more than what I wanted to for this guy, but I didn't pay like the crazy asking prices on eBay. I would say what I paid is pretty reasonable for this character in particular. And the guy was actually really nice. He had a whole bunch of other Halloween stuff for sale, like I said, and he actually gave me the Gemmy chainsaw that didn't come with Leatherface. It was just like the standalone chainsaw. He gave me one of those for free that actually has the blade still intact and functioning, so that was really nice of him. Another reason why I went with this one over a couple other options that were on the market is because this one had the box, and the box looked like it was in perfect shape. It's a little beat up now because of shipping, and unfortunately, as much as this pains me to say, I did tell him it was okay to ship it in the original box, even though originally we were trying to find solutions to get this thing double boxed. He just didn't have any boxes big enough, and he was gonna go have UPS do it, and it was gonna be $60 to make a custom box, and really I just didn't want to have to go through the hassle or have to pay $60 to have this thing put in a box. I know Home Depot, I usually get my boxes from Home Depot for the life sizes, but I just don't want to have him, have to go through the hassle of going to the store and getting boxes and stuff. So I just told him it was okay to ship it in the original box, and honestly, it made it in better shape than I thought it would. I thought it would get pretty torn up, but it made it here pretty intact, so that's good. I'll get a close-up look at this guy real quick. Now, when I got him, he did have a few issues. For starters, his biggest issue was that the eyes were not functioning at all. That ended up being a loose connection. Right there, actually, is where it was. And then I went ahead and replaced the gear in his eyes anyways, because I opened up the head. His mouth would like get stuck open sometimes. I went ahead and replaced the gear in his mouth and his eyes, and that took care of both of those issues. His eyes work, his mouth moves. And then, of course, in true Gemmy classic fashion, when I got them all back together, the one thing that was working perfectly before, which was the head movement, stopped working. The motor was dying on it, so I went ahead and replaced the head motor, and now he's working perfectly. Cosmetically, he's in really good shape. He's a little dusty right now, mainly because, his costume just has so much detail. I don't really want to wash it or anything. I can probably spot clean it, but I just haven't gotten around to it. He actually has all his pins, which is pretty awesome. None of them are missing. A few of them are bent, but nothing crazy. All of them are still there. And then he's holding this box, which lights up. And honestly, he looks really cool in the dark because this just gives off just the perfect amount of light and his face is white, so it like absorbs the light perfectly. His costume is very detailed, honestly, up there, and he has one of the most detailed Jimmy costumes. I mean, it's a very good quality costume. He also doesn't have any feet, which he's the only horror character that doesn't have any feet. Maybe the only Jimmy 6-foot character too. But yeah, I mean, honestly, if I were to rank all the horror characters from Jimmy, this would definitely be in last place, just because I've never been a big fan of him. And that's kind of why he was the last one I got, because I just wasn't going to spend a ton of money on him, and I had other priorities. But when I did finally get around to him, and, you know, I see him in person now, I'm not going to lie, he's been growing on me. Definitely still in last place, but I do got to give Jimmy credit for the detail they put in this guy, especially with the costume. The costume they did a great job on, and honestly, I wish there was a little more to this guy. Maybe like body turn, that would have been pretty cool, but honestly, he's fine. He's pretty cool. The one thing I do like about him is that his head movement it just seems like it has a wider range, but it doesn't really. It just moves a little faster than other characters. But yeah, without further ado, I'll go ahead and demo him.
Your flesh is killing your spirit. You suffer beautifully.
This guy actually does have a lot of phrases too, so I'm probably not going to play all of them. I'll just play a couple of them.
I am pain. Pain has a face. Allow me to show it to you. Welcome to the worst nightmare of all, reality.
So yeah, there he is. When I got this guy, I was actually pretty scared that he may have board issues, because I know these pinheads are kind of notorious for frying out when the gears split in the mouth and the eyes, but luckily his board was all good. I even opened it up, checked it out just to be sure, and gave it a light cleaning. And I mean, he works perfectly, as you can see. We'll get a closer look at the box real quick. He does have a very cool box. Definitely not my favorite licensed box. That would probably have to go to Boris, because just the way it looks, but still very cool box. His box is also a little smaller than I thought it would be. It's not too big. Then he does have the price tag on there as well. He retailed for $279.99, which is pretty crazy back for 2010. That's when he was sold at Spirit Halloween. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say about him. I'm very excited that I have the entire horror collection now in my possession, and there will be a pretty cool video, you know, where I go in depth on all the characters together and, you know, activate them all. So hopefully I'll be able to get around to that soon. I know I haven't really been uploading much lately, but that's mainly just because I haven't had anything really worth making a video on. I'm trying to limit what I make videos on to things that are actually worth documenting. So hopefully within the next month or so, I'll have some cool videos out there. But yeah, that's really all I got to say about this guy. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here, and thanks for watching.